Welcome to Shomach Shov on the Daf Shir Spatzu Nishbas Am Shalom and Leah Basitzchok. We're holding Basra Daf Chofei. The Gemara in Amud Beis brings a machlokes between the Chachamim, between Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yeshua. What happens to the sun during the night? Why we don't see the sun in the northern side of the sky? So Rabbi Elazar says the world looks like a chsadra, which means it has three walls and missing a fourth wall. The northern side of the world is not closed. There's no sky there. There's no shamayim. So therefore the sun does not go there because there's no shamayim. And Rabbi Yeshua says, no, the world looks like a room. There is a fourth side, but the sun goes behind the sky over there, and therefore you don't see it. Here we have a very, very chosh of a Maharal that speaks about this Gemara and tells us a lot about anything that seems to be contradicting science and Shas. And we'll start with the following. The Maharal in Bera Goylo, Bera Shishi. What is the Sefer Bera Goylo of the Maharal? Bera Goylo comes to protect Divrei Chazal, to come and explain the imek, the depth of Divrei Chazal. And Bera Shishi, the Maharal says, really I should finish the Sefer right now. But I got a book that someone wrote. He was referring to the Sefer called Maharal, that was written by somebody called Azario Min HaDoimim from Italy. And there he goes and he questions and explains the pashtus with Chazal telling us, which doesn't really fit science. So the Maharal goes and attacks the Sefer and says that he doesn't understand Divrei Chazal. He thinks that Chazal is speaking with pashtus and it's so wrong. And he goes on to attack many things that the Sefer brings. One of the things the Sefer brings is our Gemara. That this Sefer said, you see that Chazal understood, Chalila, that the world is flat, and therefore you have this discussion, how exactly, where is the sun, why can't I see it on the north side? Because if we know that the earth is circle, so there's no question where the sun is in the north, because it just means the sun is another side of the world. The sun is not disappearing in the north. So it says this Maharal, you see, Chazal didn't really know science, and therefore they made that mistake. Says the Maharal, Chas v'shalom, to say such a thing in Chazal. Because Chazal are not talking to us about the physical elements of the world. As the Maharal's Yesod goes on throughout his farm. Chazal are not giving us a science book, and Chazal are not giving us a medicine book. Chazal are giving us the conceptual ideas behind everything. And this is re-emphasized by the Ramchal and Adi B'Moram. Before the Ramchal goes on to explain our Gemara, based on Kabbalah, he goes on and says that even though we do have the Kechavim and the Shemesh and the Reach, all Gashmi, the whole physical elements, but inside them, Mislabish, Pnimius Masharoshim. And says the Ramchal, Kol HaDvarim shetimtza she'oimim Chazal b'yan HaShemesh v'shar Kechavim, it doesn't work the way we see in our eyes. It says, I'm not talking to you about the physical elements of the sun and the moon and the stars. I'm talking to you about the conceptual ideas. I'm talking to you about the pnimius, what's going on in each one of these elements. So Maharal goes on to say the following. What the Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yeshua try to tell us is that this world is an incomplete world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a world, but it's incomplete. The world is not 100% finished. The Maharal says the reason for it is because the Olul means something which was created, always has a chisaron. The only thing in the world which is perfect is HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. But anything else, anything that was created has a chisaron. The world has a chisaron. What is the chisaron of the world? So here we have a machlokes, Rabbi Elazar B'Shua. How does that appear? Rabbi Elazar says that you're missing the shamayim in the northern side. What does the shamayim represent? The shamayim is the border of the upper world and the lower world. That's what shamayim is. So we're talking about here the definition of what's the border, the beginning of this world. This world, the world Olam HaTachton, is missing something in its creation. While Rabbi Yeshua says no, nothing is missing in the creation, but the world itself is not operating as much on one side. As if the world does not have a shaykh, as a relationship to the sun, is not operating fully in the night. The night, things go off. That's what sounds the Maharal explains here, Rabbi Yeshua. They both talk about the chisoron of the Bria. As the Meshech Chochmah tells us, in Bamidbar Practice Vov, Pasuk Lametes. He says very similar to the Maharal, and he brings the Akdama, what Tonusrofus told Rabbi Akiva. He says, why are you doing a bris milah? Because Baruch created you without a bris. So Rabbi Akiva tells him, because Baruch created us incomplete, and we have to finish it. We have to complete the world. So that says the Meshech Chochmah, that's the pshat in this Gemara here. You're missing the north and side, means the world is incomplete. Human beings have the tafkid to complete it. And as the Rizak Isaac Chover in the Torah tells us, the Ruach Tzfainis refers to the Yetzer Hara. This is where Koyach HaBchira of Adam is. He has the challenges to come and accomplish to overcome the challenges of the north. The north is incomplete, is imperfect. This is where Adam has a pula to do. This is what it means here, that the north here, something is missing. We're not talking about the physical elements of the world. We're talking about the conceptual idea, the way it appears in our eyes. And there's a big yesod referring to Machshava, Kabbalah. The way things appear in our eyes, even though physically it's not that way, there's a message over here. That's why darkness is considered to be hid there. You're missing reality, even though the reality stays, but you can't see it. So something is missing a little bit conceptually. Also here, if the sun is not in the north, there's something missing here. There's a message. The world is incomplete, and this is Avodas Adam. And this is a big yesod in any one of the agatas of Shas that seem to be contradicting science. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list, to what's a go, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.